What's going on, everybody? Going to give you a tutorial today on how to replace the Nintendo Gamecube Laser. I've already got it torn down at this point, so I've already got a tutorial video that shows how to get it out and to get it to this point. And so if you're not sure how to, you can see the link that's popped up now. Feel free to go over and learn how to disassemble everything first. And then after you're done with that, you can come back to this video and learn how to do this stuff. For this, we'll need just a few little things, basically. Just a few of the Phillips head jewelry screwdrivers. And that's pretty much all we'll really need. And besides your new laser and everything, of course. So let's get started here. Now be careful to not really try to cause too much pressure and stuff on this, on the spindle motor and the laser area, because this is kind of, you can see it kind of has some give. It's on these little rubber things. So I don't just set it down for these screws is what I'm getting at here. Kind of hold it in your hands. That way you won't cause any unnecessary damage to everything. But these little guys, little screws right here, are very small. So just be careful not to lose them. I always like to put mine in a little tin, something that's got 4 sides. Really make sure that they stay in one place and they don't get shooken and vibrated off the table and then get lost and all that. Even my smallest Phillips head jewelry screwdriver here is having a little bit of trouble getting these guys out. Alright, just one more here. And all this is really doing is detaching the shield part from this. It's really the only thing this is doing. It's not really disassembling the laser assembly or anything like that anyway. Alright, so now we're left with, I guess you could call this a DVD drive. I don't really know why you would call this a DVD drive. It's actually kind of similar to how the PS1 is built. Okay. Now on the other side, as you can see, we're left with some wires and cables and stuff. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're just going to unplug all this stuff just so we don't rip it up. Now for the ribbons and stuff, these will have little locks. So if you just kind of pull the little lock, kind of slide it out that way, you'll see that it kind of unlocks it for you. And then they'll slide right out. Now with this one, that's not the case. This one just kind of slides right out. Be careful with it though, because if you cut it or something with the little room you've got, you're going to be a lot worse trouble than you were in the first place. Phew, kind of like I almost just did there, actually. In fact, I hope I didn't. No, it doesn't look like I did. Thank goodness. I almost did the very thing I just told you to be careful not to do. That would have sucked. Alright. Next what we're going to do is there's this little guy right here. And this is the plug style, no ribbons, so you just kind of work that out a little bit. Just be careful tugging on them wires. You can't tug the wires out of there. Or I'm sorry. This actually is already removed in that other tutorial. You really don't have to take this out. I'm just kind of thinking backwards here. But you do want to pull it out of that area and everything. Alright, now let's go ahead and we'll start taking out the couple little screws that are holding this main motherboard on. Now you do still have this guy left, so you will have to work around this unless you feel like desoldering that. But I'm not going to do it just because I'm sure most of you are probably not trying to do that either. Alright, now that that's out, we should be able to just get this out. Now it does have like a little clip right here. You got to kind of push that out as you're pulling to get it over that little hip or whatever you'd want to call it. Just like that. Oh, missed a screw as well. I guess that would probably help. Alright, now that slides off. Like I said, just be very careful with that wire. Okay. Make sure everything's still in place here before I start taking anything else off. We'll kind of slip that around to give us some more leeway with that. And that just kind of helps get everything out of the way. Alright. Now, there's kind of a trick to this because each of these have these little hump things that kind of hold it in there, so you got to kind of get them around each one of those. The only exception is this one right here. This side does not have one of those. As you see, that one kind of pulls out, but the rest of them have that little hump. So you got to, if you can, try to work with this one to try to work each one of these out. You just got to kind of pull it in the direction. Make sure I'm not screwing that up. Just kind of pull it in the direction, just like that. And then this one, and then this one. And you do kind of have to pull it out and up so that the rubber feet kind of come off while you're pulling it out of that. Alright, now we'll set that aside. And then we're at the motors. Alright, so really this part isn't too bad. And I'm not going to go into too great a detail about it, I guess. Well, maybe I should anyways, just to be sure you guys are well informed. So we will. We're going to take these screws out right here. Well, let me get my other screwdriver. It's actually on the bars. They're the track bars that move the laser around. So we're going to take those guys out. You only have to take them out on this one side, by the way, because the other side will just pop right off. Now, let's see if we can kind of... There, like that. What you got to do is you got to slide it all the way this way, and then kind of pull it up off of there. Otherwise, you could just take that off, I guess, if you didn't feel like doing that, or if it didn't work for whatever reason. But I just like to avoid that, and in that way you can also avoid messing with this spring stuff in here, because that is a real pain in the butt to fix if that's not done. And hopefully your replacement laser came with one of these, because I'm not going to go through how to show you how to take this, kind of like the laser arm. I'm not going to take that off and show you how to mess with it, because that's just too much work and it is a pain. But if you do, just before you do it, I would suggest maybe even taking a picture, and then just being very careful to put it exactly back the way you had it. Alright, so we're going to get my, let me go over here and grab my replacement laser. Just like this, my new guy here. Now we're just going to do basically the same stuff here. We're just going to put, kind of reverse the steps, kind of line everything up. Now, remember this side has to go in first, so you're going to put it in, and make sure it's all the way to the back, or I guess the front actually. And then what you got to do is kind of just work it in there and get that bar worked in there. That bar is the main pain in your butt right now, is just trying to get that thing lined back up while keeping everything else on track. And see, you can see it's giving me some problems even here. Let's see if I can get this in here kind of first. There we go. Well, yeah, there we go. Now that's all in there. Make sure it slides back and forth, and that while you do slide it back and forth, it's turning that little gear in there. And that way you know it's connected like it's supposed to be. Alright, now let's get these screws that we took out back into the bar. Just to get it put back together. Just like so. Alright. Now, believe that is everything. I'm trying to make sure I don't miss anything here for you guys, but I believe it is. As far as that. So I'm just going to leave it at that, and all you've really got to do is just reverse your steps from here and do everything you've already done just backwards. And that's pretty much it, really. So I appreciate you guys watching this tutorial. I hope this helped. And if it did help, I'd appreciate you returning the favor by giving me a like on the video. And yeah. I've got a lot of other good videos, repair tutorials, and case modding stuff, so definitely check all that out. It's a lot of fun. Anyways, guys, until next time.